absolutely the instrument that Mozart had in mind when he was composing the concerto. So it took a while, of course, you know, the transition from A clarinet to the basset clarinet, but I came on a certain point in my career and I got much more invitations for solo performances of the concerto, and I thought, okay, now is the time, I just need to buy that one instrument for that one concerto also. And since then I wouldn't want to live without it anymore. So I would say that the basset clarinet, as it's quite a bit longer, it's a little heavier, so it needs more investment. You need to blow a little bit more air, so it's a different feeling. The bore is also tighter, so you get a little bit more focused sound. It's very warm, but also like in a way very crystal clear compared to the A clarinet. And especially for Mozart, it adds depth and emotion, and everything makes sense. All the melodies that he intended to, they're not, you know, cut like A clarinet, but they go all the way low, and it has something very harmonious, I would say. Yeah. Well, especially in Mozart, as it's so, at the same time, very light, you have very shiny, bright passages, you really need to feel in a happy mood, and then you have the very dark ones and extremely like, I mean, you can't even explain exactly what it is, it's very deep. And what I think is important is to myself being absolutely grounded, like very calm. Yeah, so I do a lot of yoga, and before a performance, definitely of Mozart, I would be on my yoga mat and just breathe properly. And if you have a calm breath and good mood, then it definitely helps for Mozart. Yeah. What is very lovely, I think, in this concerto is the constant contrast between passages that always have, for example, energetic 8 notes underneath in the accompaniment, so it's like flowing forward. But you also have the passages where almost nothing is written in the orchestra, so it gives a lot of freedom. And those are, in my opinion, definitely the ones that stick out, that make people like almost lose their breath, even me, even after so many times. They're really passages that go very, very deep emotionally. It's a very difficult question, but I think he was already so mature and so far in his way of composing that he just basically put everything. It's like a recap of everything he wrote before, I would say. And also his encounter with the clarinetist for whom he wrote it, Stadler, it was very special. Stadler also showed him, look, there's this beautiful instrument, can you do something with it? And if you see the difference between the Mozart Clarinet Quintet, which was written a little earlier, there he uses a few low notes, but not too much. But then in the concerto, he really uses all of that, and then you get extremely big jumps, for example. And I think at that time, it must have been something exotic, like, wow, no other woodwind instrument could do this. And what I also think is it's very much related to opera. So when I play it, I really feel like more like a soprano actually, or an opera singer, in the way he wrote the melodies, and that's really special to be able to write basically vocal music but for a woodwind instrument. I think that's a real mastery of the piece. Yeah, I would say so, because again there's so many very energetic parts, and it's very delicate, it's very fine, and I think that the entire concerto needs to have so much lightness. So I myself always feel even like something bouncy. It's like with gravity, but then there's always something that goes by itself, and the entire orchestra also picked it up. So this is really, you do very special, weird things as well. First of all, I kind of make sure that I remind myself that it's all about the piece I'm going to perform, and much less about myself. That's very helpful, because if you try to be really good and perfect and you know, do the best thing for the audience, it's never going to be authentic. So that's a mentally very important thought for me. And then, I absolutely just ground myself by being on a yoga mat. So what I don't like is that people knock on my door like 20 minutes prior to the concert. Like, it just stays closed, and just with myself, just breathing, just stretching, and if you then manage under the stress to keep yourself so calm, then it's really possible to open, let's say, the gates to the emotions. Otherwise, there's always something restricted that is not going to leave you during a concert. So I would say, that's my main goal. And of course, singing, like anticipating the phrases and playing for the audience.
thank you so much. We really appreciate